Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to another episode of Life of Brian. I am here with my 1994 Mazda RX-7, and we're going to do another installment of five things I aggressively tolerate, which with this car is not difficult at all, but we will go over a list of 5 things that really endear this beautiful JDM icon, JDM legend to my heart, and why it is definitely one of my favorite cars in the garage, and why I'm so thrilled to finally be able to drive it and use it after it's been gone for about 8 months in the shop. So let's get started. So it goes without saying, guys, but obviously the first thing I aggressively tolerate are the looks of the FD, the third generation RX-7. It's universally regarded as one of the most beautiful cars ever made. I think someone left a comment on my other video that I did with the car where they said that any Italian designer would have been proud to have called this car, one of his or her creations. And this is, definitely, I think probably the most beautiful car I own. But in general, in terms of cars I've actually seen in person or driven, I can't honestly, I can't think of a car that I would rank above this in terms of just the simple, the timeless design, the just, I don't know if elegance is really something to really describe a car, but just the curves, the smooth curves on this car, like everything just flows perfectly from the hood all the way down or back to the trunk, and there's no sharp angles, sharp lines, nothing that's obnoxious or kind of draws your eye away from the flow and look of the car. It's just a really beautiful car. This is a '94, so what is that? That's almost 10 years old. I'm sorry, not 10 years old. It's um, um, almost 30 years old, and it still looks beautiful today. Driving the car this morning, actually, I had people taking photos of it. I had people wrote on their windows, give me thumbs up. It's you pass any car, quite frankly, guys. You know, uh, Exotics, muscle cars, supercars, and they're going to stop and admire this car because it's beautiful. Before I got one, I almost wrecked a couple times trying to catch a photo and get a second look myself. And yeah, it's just a beautiful car, and it's definitely the first thing I aggressively tolerate about my FD RX-7. The second thing that I aggressively tolerate about my Mazda RX-7, guys, is this shifter. Just to give you guys a sense here: first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and then sixth is all the way over and down. The closest analogy, or the closest analogous shifter that I would compare this to, guys, is probably my NSX. But this kind of has even the NSX has more of a, I keep on comparing it or describing this as bolt action rifle, but I honestly can't think of a better way to describe the NSX, which again I love. I think it's, if not the best shifter, second best I have, behind perhaps the 1M. But this one is very similar to that, but this one is slightly less precise, if that makes sense, but not in a bad way. This one kind of has more of the buttery smoothness, if you will, of the 1M, but also kind of that little the precision of the NSX, if that makes sense. It's kind of like a marriage of the two. Like if my 1M and my NSX had a baby, this is what the shifter would come as a result of that. It's just so much fun to shift in this car, guys. The hand falls right to it. It's kind of on the small end. I think the knob is perfectly sized. There's not like something obnoxious, or it's not too long, too bulky, too cumbersome to shift. Just an absolute joy to shift in this car. Love it, love this shifter. And quite honestly, like I explained in my last video, guys, it's been 8 months since I've seen the car. I've actually only driven the car once before it went in the shop, And when I got in and I saw the shifter, I was like, oh, it was like literally seeing it for the first time, because it basically was the first time. And I find myself just finding any reason whatsoever to drive this car just so I can shift. Love this shifter. It's amazing. Definitely try to drive one, guys, if you haven't had a chance to try it. I think you'll see what I'm talking about as well. The third thing that I aggressively tolerate about the RX-7, guys, is this interior, and specifically kind of the cockpit feel that the interior gives you. Again, very similar to the Supra, or my Supra. You kind of have the tunnel here, the shifter, and then everything kind of curves around the driver, towards the driver. Not so exaggerated as the Supra, or even the S2000. But it's kind of, kind of a nice middle ground, if you will, between those and most other cars where there's kind of no orientation towards the driver. It's a little more subtle, but I like it. I really love the interior of this car. Again, it's a 94, so nothing's going to be latest tech, or everything's going to be kind of dated. But have your cassette player there. But I think it's it's a 90s JDM icon. It's a legend. And these are what the interiors looked like back then. And I love it. Just absolutely love it. The climate controls are easy to use, big buttons. Nothing's confusing. Everything's exactly where you think it would be. Same thing for over here on the driver's side door. These little, the door latch to open and close the door is a little tricky. Sometimes in fact, almost every single time I open the door, I kind of press it down instead of pushing back, which is how you open the door. So that's a little bit quirky, which I kind of enjoy. But love the steering wheel as well. But yeah, I just really love the interior of the vehicle, and specifically kind of the cockpit feel of it, how everything's kind of oriented towards the driver. Really fun to drive. It's a really nice place to be, especially for an enthusiast. Great interior. Fourth thing I'm tolerate that's about my RX-7 is the little cubby spaces here, the cubby holes in the back. I have my premix and oil, and here I think I have some towels or something. Let me see, what do I have here? Towels and I think a tire inflator. But I think they could have just done nothing back here, left it as a shelf. The Japanese cars had a back seat, I believe, which is pretty amazing that you could fit a back seat in a car this small. But yeah, I really love kind of the utility of those. The fact that they kind of make. I mean, it's not like cavernous or anything, but you can fit a good amount of stuff here, and especially for the RX-7, you're going to need your premix, your oil, and things you're gonna have to carry around instead of going home every day or stopping and getting it. So I think actually this is, for this car, having these things is absolutely perfect. And again, it's just something that adds to the usefulness of the car, utility of the car. You're not going to be hauling people back there. Obviously, you're packing a lot of stuff, but specifically for this car and the things that you need to do every time you fill up, specifically the premix, checking the oil, adding oil, these two little cubbies I think are really great, and are actually perfect for this car more than any other car, because again the Wankel, the rotary engine, is a little bit more finicky, needs a little bit more attention and maintenance. So I really like the fact that these things are there, and it's very convenient to have those things ready to use for the car when needed. So the fifth and final thing that I aggressively tolerate about this RX-7, guys, is, ironically enough, the pop-up headlights. I have never been and am not a fan of pop-up headlights in basically any other car. For my 2003 NSX, I specifically, when I got it, wanted a later iteration, so I didn't have to deal with the pop-up headlights. I don't really like the look of pop-up headlights. Same thing for my 3000 GT. This is really kind of the only exception to that rule, guys. I really honestly think that the fact that they are pop-up headlights, it kind of just even adds more to the kind of the seamless curves, lines of the car. It's just a perfect smooth continuation from front to back. There's nothing jutting up or anything that kind of breaks up that line, which again just makes this car so beautiful, and again elegant, if you can describe a car like that. But I also like the fact that you can go over here and press this button, and then the headlights pop up, which I think is cool. You don't have to turn on the headlights during the day. You just kind of flip those up, and then you got your headlights. And I haven't been an RX-7 owner that long, but supposedly this is what you do if you want to greet other RX-7 owners going down the road. But I think that's cool. Yeah, not as crazy about the look with the headlights up, but especially with them down, I love the look of it. And again, I think it's kind of quirky, kind of cool that you can flip them up and not have to turn on the headlights, especially during the day. And that's the fifth thing I aggressively tolerate about my RX-7. So those are the 5 things, guys, that I aggressively tolerate about my 1994 Mazda RX-7. I love this car. I love it even more now that I finally have it back after it was gone for about 8 months in the shop. But again, finding every opportunity I can to drive it, to drive around with it, find a reason to take it out. But it's been a blast so far. The engine so far, knock on wood, has not crapped out on me. Again, my friend Andy did a fantastic job doing the rebuild. And so far, no issues, no complaints whatsoever. And I'm hoping for a lot more adventures, a lot more fun to come in this car, which of course I will post on the channel and share with you guys as well. So I hope you like the content, guys. Please give the video a thumbs up. Leave a comment below, like and subscribe. Please support the channel, and hope to catch you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.